Welcome to the Solopreneurs CEO podcast. I'm Karen Kilby-Clark, and along with my co-host Marsha Sheehan, we help solopreneurs lead with clarity and build businesses that grow without burnout. This show is for solopreneurs who've built something real but are carrying more of the load than they want to be. Your business works, but it depends too heavily on you. And deep down, you know it shouldn't feel this hard. Here, we talk about the mindset, systems, structure, and support it actually takes to run a business without sacrificing your well-being. We're not about hustle culture or pushing harder just to survive. This podcast is about stepping out of reactive solopreneur mode and into CEO-level leadership so your business can support your life instead of consuming it. If you're ready for honest conversations, real-world strategies, and a lot less pretending, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome back. Karen and I have an amazing episode for you. It's loosely based off of the laser coaching call that we had for the society. As you know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you're new to us, we have the Success Secret Society. Twice a month we meet with our members. The first Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's laser coaching. The third Wednesday in the evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do more of like an intention setting, see how the month is going, and that's more of like the nervous system reset type of experience. During the laser coaching session, this most recent one, we started talking about the experience that most everyone is going through right now and how it can feel difficult to run your business and to sell and to maintain things when there's so much chaos happening around us. We're just outside of Washington, D.C. Karen and I feel like we can feel it in our bones. It's a very stressful time right now. There's constantly things happening, wars being started, things with the economy, inflation, gas pricing, all of that. And so today we're going to talk about how to position yourself so that your clients, your future clients and your current clients understand that you're providing them with something that is helping them to maintain some sense of normalcy during this time.
Yeah, I love that we're expanding this conversation that started in our coaching calls, because it is not new. I mean, this is not new, but it is something I think that people, I don't hear enough people talking about it. And so you can start to feel like, is it just me? Am I the only one who's noticing this? Everyone else's business seems to be doing great on Instagram, right? I mean, that's the highlight reel of life and business. And you really can start to think, did I lose my edge? Am I the problem? I'm happy we're having this conversation to remind you that no, you didn't, and no, you're not. And then also help give some thoughts around focus, because that's the hardest thing right now because of the noise. You can get so easily sucked into so many rabbit holes these days, whether it's the world on fire or AI is going to take everyone's job away or whatever the latest thing is. COVID 14.8900 is coming. There's so many stupid things and real problems in the world. I'm not going to make it seem like it's not a thing. I was saying before we started recording to Marsha, is like, there's always something. Whether you are personally experiencing it or personally affected by it or not, there's always something that is happening that is likely affecting the people that you serve. It might not be COVID-19 where like the whole entire world was experiencing that at the same time. Hopefully that does not happen again. But there's always something. The analogy I was using with Marsha is, how do you think of yourself as the doctor? Your people have a problem. You have a solution. You have the prescription. A doctor is not going to send you off and let you continue with your heart disease just because there's a war over there, right? They're going to help you. They're going to give you the plan. Maybe you need surgery. Maybe you need a pill. Maybe it's a change of diet or whatever. They're not going to just send you off because there's something else happening in the world that we could get lost in and feel like we have no power over. So anyways, yeah, this is going to be a really good conversation just to remind you you're not alone, and then help you find your way out of any rabbit holes you may have fell down.
Yesterday, I was spending some time with my family, and I told my sister that I haven't really been checked in to all of the fires that have been happening. For me, and I think for everyone, like, you have to have blinders on when it comes to work, when it comes to focusing on the people that you serve. That's not to say that I'm completely blind and oblivious to everything that's going on. My sister, she's an Aries, very opinionated. And she's like, this is exactly what they want. They want you to contract, and they want you to stop paying attention and avoid the things that are happening in the world. I don't see it that way, because the work that I'm doing right now is trying to encourage more women to have the audacity to lead, because we need women to save the world. I'm not going to be able to do that well if I am curled up in the fetal position on the side of my room just thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. I'm here to inspire other people to do the work that they're here to do. And I know that you're doing the same thing, Karen, and I assume that the listeners that we have, they also have a big mission in their business of how they want to affect change. I've fallen victim where I feel like I have to say something about what's going on, or people are going to think that I'm just living this super privileged life and I don't know what's happening. Everybody fucking knows what's happening. You can't, in this day and age, you cannot be online, you can't be a business owner, you can't be a parent, you can't be a citizen without knowing the things that are happening, because it's affecting our pocketbooks. We can tell, like, oh, I'm paying so much more for groceries now, I'm paying so much more for fuel, my medical, prescriptions now. I'm like, has it always been this bad? I'm looking at my co-pays, the co-pays are going up, and there's a whole lot going on. The people that say, this is what they want from you is for you to check out, don't let them shame you, because that's going to hurt even worse when you have loved ones telling you, oh, it must be nice for you to be able to just not care. No, I fucking care. Everybody fucking cares. We don't want this to be happening, but you have to protect yourself and you have to protect your work. And when you do that, you're going to be able to make a bigger impact.
The world is not going to be better off if you are ignoring your business. That's not going to be a good solution. If you let things kind of simmer down and you're not putting energy into your business and you're spending more energy being wrapped up in world events that you really don't have control over, where can you make an impact? The more money you make, the more you can give to the causes, the politicians and representatives that you think are on par with your beliefs. You being broke is never going to be a good answer. So, focusing on your business is still part of your revolution, of your way to contribute to the better world that you're trying to create. I don't think it's one or the other. And like Marsha said, you can't ignore what's happening. None of us can, and we don't want to. We need to be aware of the world that we are operating in, that our customers are in, that our children are in. We need to be aware. But I still feel like the focus has to be where you can make an impact, like Marsha said. And so your business is your best vehicle to make impact. The world has always been changed by people, by business owners, by entrepreneurs. The world is not changed by the politicians, let's be real. They just keep it the same. Do they maybe sometimes inspire some folks to do something? Maybe, but the world is changed by people who are gonna go out and see a problem, solve a problem, and make an impact and help people live a better life in whatever way that is, whether it's a better relationship, whether it's writing the book they've had in their brain for forever, whether it's systemizing their business so they don't spend all day doing admin work and they can actually work with clients, whether it's having the courage to speak up and say whatever it is they want to. The business people are the ones changing the world. So you focusing on your business is always going to contribute to a better world.
Freaking mic drop. That is so good. It's so good. And it also plays into what we were talking about before you hit record. Karen was like, at any given time, your clients, even if what's happening in the world isn't directly affecting them, they could be going through some really difficult times in their personal lives. If you want to put a bow on what's happening right now, it's you need to do your work in a way that it's helping people regardless of where they're at in their life. They might have lost a loved one, or they might be going through a transition at work or whatever. So there's always going to be things. Having that in the back of your mind that you need to show up in the way that works best for you, that conveys the value that the people are going to get from working with you. That ties to being really connected to your mission and revisiting it often. I literally went back to blog day number 44 where I wrote out my mission, and it was something that I had created. I was actually driving to a retreat with Karen and Kim. We were having like a weekend away in Richmond. Remember that door? Ugh, there was so much air coming in from the door. Oh my God. Anyway, so I wrote my mission down on the drive because I was listening to a podcast and it inspired me. It was like, everybody should have a life mission. And I was like, why am I this age without a personal mission? And so I wrote it down, and I just revisited it today, and I look at it every once in a while. Things right now that I'm working on tie to what I put down. Staying true to who you are, to the impact that you can make, and to the impact that you want to make. That's what's going to get you through these difficult, trying times, and that's what's going to make that impact with your clients.
It has to start with your vision for what you want your life and business to be. What is your mission from God? You were created for a reason. What do you believe that reason is? That's your mission from God, or whatever you believe in. You have to be driven by that. Your purpose has to be the biggest, most important thing. Because if you're looking for the why, what's going to keep me going? Why does this even matter? Like, why should I even bother? Does anybody care? When all of that craziness starts bumbling about in your brain, you have to remember, no, this is my mission from God. And I know that kind of sounds dramatic, but really, it has to be that serious to you. And you have to remember that people are still buying things. They didn't just up and quit buying things. So how do we make our product or service the thing that, like, how do we help them see that this is the thing that they need to solve if they have the problem that you solve, then they need to know that you have the solution. You can't sugarcoat that. That needs to be the lead. Put that front and center. If you have this problem, you need this solution. And I have this solution, by the way. And this is how you can get it. That cannot be an optional or on the side. There's so many things that people will focus on in their marketing, and they will bury that lead moment of like, you have X problem, I have Y solution, let's do this, right? This is how you sign up. So in a time like this, when people are being more selective, and like Marcia said, that can be any time. This right now in the US specifically, we are all kind of collectively feeling it because of what's going on with this administration and some of the decisions they're making and things that they are starting to do. There's always going to be times when customers are going through things and they're going to be more selective. Really thinking about, how do you position solving this problem as something that will stabilize them, help them get back to some sense of normalcy? You really have to make sure that they can equate that your service, your product with, okay, this can help me get back to normal. I'm putting my air quotes up. That's what people want right now. Life feels crazy. Everything feels out of control. Like Marcia said, all the prices are ridiculous. I mean, almost $5 a gallon. What is happening? No, this is not California. How do you stand out right now? How do you really reach the people that you're trying to help? Is by making it undeniably obvious that if they have X problem, you have Y solution, this is how you get it. I don't want to say it's simple, but it kind of is simple. Don't talk about other stuff. Just talk about, you have X problem, I have Y solution, this is how you get it. And talk about that in 30 different ways. Don't tinker with offers. Don't tinker with funnels. Don't try a new lead magnet. Do not do any of that stuff. Just show up and tell them how they have this problem. You have this solution. This is how they get it.
It will work too, because I have invested more in my personal and professional development this year than I have in my life. It has made me feel very grounded and steady and courageous. And those are part of my values. I want to feel courageous so that when I'm telling other people to have courage, I know how it feels, right? It feels expansive, it feels great, and brings you a lot of confidence. I did end up buying the Funnel Gorgeous. Karen's been talking to me about that, but it wasn't until I got to that point where I was like, I need something to get me out of this pain. I know the issues, I know the problems very well. When I was ready to buy, I bought, and there was no hesitation there. Kathy literally made a post on Instagram recently. One of my clients said I'm the best kept secret, and she meant it as a compliment, but I felt like, oh my God. This is a company that they're making over 7 figures. Think about that in your business too, not just how can you convey ways that are going to help other people, but like what kind of help can you use right now? Can you use a supportive community like the Success Secret Society, because we have rolling enrollment where we would love to have you join us. We just wanted to address that things are very difficult right now on a wide spectrum. If you're not hearing from anyone else except for the news people who are basically just sharing the worst of the worst, we're all going through it. We're all feeling it. We're all nervous. We all kind of don't want to sell because it's like, shouldn't I be focusing on the big world things? The innovators, the creators, we're going to be the ones that save the world. And the women, sorry, not to be sexist.
What you said about like when you were ready, you pulled the trigger, right? And so I think that is the importance of being steady in your messaging about, you have this problem, I have this solution, I'm not letting that go. Because then when they are ready, it might not be today, it might not be next week, it might be 4 years from now, but you have been steady, you have been clear. They know that when the time is right, when the pain is painful enough, they are going to pull the trigger. And there's enough people in each bucket, right? There's enough people in the bucket of, oh my God, if I don't solve this problem right now, I'm gonna die. And then there's enough people that are like, oh, it hurts a little bit, but you know, I can push through. I can push through. I don't need it yet. And then there's people that are like, I think I have pain, but I'm not sure what it is. Oh, maybe it's that. You have enough people in each bucket that as long as you are consistent in your messaging, when they get to the point of I'm gonna die if I don't solve this, then they're going to know to come your way. That's another reason why it's important not to hide. And I'm talking to myself too, like not to go into our turtle shell. You know, we need to stay a steady presence so they trust that you actually can back up your words because you're still here. If you are prone to do these stop-start cycles and you go hard and then things kind of get hard and then you retreat, that's not going to be a good signal to the marketplace of like, oh, this is a trusted advisor. This is a person who knows their shit. They are going to be able to help me with this. So if you kind of get prone to that, like when things get crazy, you run and hide. Please don't do that. Just stay steady, stay front and center so people can find you when they need you.
You're my partner, and I have to share that you show up when the world is on fire. Like that's when we revived the 2nd season of Honest Combos. We kicked that off in June 2020. And then we kicked off the 3rd season last May, but we had started talking about it in February. I don't want you giving yourself a hard time because it's like you're actually showing up when the world is super chaotic. We get kind of bored because we're like, oh, we're saying the same thing over and over again. Where are the results? But it was a timing thing. The planets were all in retrograde and now we got the fire horse energy. I just don't want you to be hard on yourself because I feel like we have to give ourselves so much grace. We have to show up, but keeping that confidence and assuredness that you can serve the way that you want to serve. I have total faith in you and what you can do. And so anyone else who's listening to this, like it's hard. Sometimes we do fall off the train or the barrel or whatever, the wagon. Sometimes we fall off things that are moving and it's like, you just got to catch your breath, jump back on, just keep showing up for your people and keep sharing with them how it is you can help them during this difficult time and things will be good. Thanks so much for spending time with us today. If this episode made you feel seen or helped something click, join our free community at thesolopreneurceo.com. This is a space to connect with other solopreneurs who are building sustainable businesses and don't want to do it alone. And if you found this conversation helpful, leaving a quick review helps more people find the show and remind them they're not the only ones feeling this way. We're really glad you're here, and we'll see you in the next episode.